Our goal in our mission for IDC is to be able to build the capacity of states in order to be able to report, collect, use, analyze high-quality IDEA data.
We're working with states on how they can use their IDEA data and other state data on program improvement, particularly for the state systemic improvement planning.
We ultimately hope that improving the state's capacity will then translate into improved outcomes for children and youth with disabilities and their families.
State workers are extremely busy and nonstop, and I really appreciate the offerings or the ways in which we provide cross-state learning opportunities.
IDC was very excited to bring forth the Interactive Institutes on High-Quality Data and the SIP last spring. States could really sit down and work with their state teams and also learn from other states that were attending that particular institute.
We know there's similarities across states, but there's many differences, and state staff always tell us how valuable it is to confer with their peers to get ideas.
And so we had a lot of, roundtable discussions where states could really sit down and work through the issues and discuss the issues that they're facing.
So in 2016, IDC is going to provide another opportunity for interactive institutes.
During the Data Interactive Institutes, states will have an opportunity to participate in topical bursts. They'll have an opportunity to participate in hands-on workshops, and they'll also have an opportunity to learn from one another. There's been quite a bit of turnover in terms of the data managers across the country. One of the needs that was identified is that it would be great to have a coaching program in place where these new data managers could learn and benefit from the knowledge of existing data managers who've been doing the job for a while. This would be a voluntary program that states could choose to participate in, and so the idea would be if there's a new data manager who comes on board, that they would be offered the opportunity to be paired with a more veteran data manager to hopefully build their capacity and just have a buddy that they can call and ask questions to. IDC serves all of the states in the U.S., including all of the outlying areas and territories, and so it's not always practical to bring everybody together in a face-to-face manner. And so we think it's very important to have a wide variety of ways that states can learn from each other, including online opportunities.
We have two listservs, one for Part B and one for Part C. State staff and TA providers request membership, and this is an opportunity for state staff to share information, ask questions about issues related to high-quality IDEA data.
From a state perspective, it really gives us an opportunity to quickly ask questions, network with one another, share feedback, problem solve.
Through our listservs, we reach close to 300 folks in each of our listservs, so there's a big audience.
When I think of the listserv, just get the opportunity to ask a quick question or share an idea or problem solve very quickly. Whereas the learning community, our over 400 users, have the opportunity to have really some focused discussion. They can go in depth. They can start a discussion.
They don't have to plan anything in advance. They can just sit down on their computer or even their mobile device and type out, hey, what's your state doing related to this? Or we have a question about this in our state, and it's just spontaneous.
They can share ideas. They can really engage through the learning community.
IDC has a webinar series that we launched, and during that webinar series we've had some opportunities for states to learn from one another about what it is that they're doing.
We give states the opportunity to visit and come into those webinars and learn about tools and products that we are providing them to improve IDEA data quality.
So the webinar featured South Carolina, who was able to present to a fair number of other states about how they had taken our IDC Success Gap tools and repurposed those for their own use and customized them to meet their own state's needs, and were able to apply them to their SIP as they're moving forward with Phase 2.
After each of our webinars, those participants get the opportunity to complete just a quick feedback survey. And it really informs us on how to improve, refine, and enhance our webinars. Our cadre of experts who develop those and facilitate those and lead those, they follow up through our learning community by continuing discussions around a specific topical webinar. One of the examples we like to highlight as an example of state information sharing is our assessment interactive map. Registered users get the opportunity to click on a state, their state, other states, and view a compilation of comprehensive assessment data as well as conjectural information. One state may be interested in a state's approach to their Common Core standards and content standards. They may quickly click on that state and see that information. Then they may have very specific questions about that, and they can immediately reach out to that state and engage in some discussions through the learning community or the listserv.
We are also working closely with other TA centers on cross-state learning opportunities. In December, we worked really closely with NCSI and OSEP to provide an opportunity in Guam for all the Pacific entities to get together and talk about a whole range of issues. IDC is also working with NCSI on the Family Outcomes Learning Collaborative. We're also working with DAISY. Particularly, we're involved as a partner in the topic cohort Powerful Data for 619. IDC is really happy and enthusiastic about working with the other OSEP-funded TA centers to provide a range of cross-state learning opportunities that can meet the needs of state staff to do a better job at what they're doing.